Shiva. Thank you, Shiva, once again for joining this session.
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Sadish, and thanks everyone.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank
Good morning, all. We are honored to have Mr. Arul Benjamin Chandru as a guest for this workshop. He is working as a senior system analyst in IBM India Private Limited. He also served as a technical lead in HCL Technologies. He got various AWS external certifications in DB29 family fundamentals and so on. An excellent communicator with effective negotiation skills, updated knowledge by studying state-of-the-art development tools, programming techniques, and computing equipments, participating in educational opportunities, leading professional publications, and maintaining personal networks. He handled various projects in various platforms. To name a few, IDMS migration for NYL, Vision 2.0, and then and so on. Thank you, sir. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Arul Benjamin, and I am working in IBM as a senior system analyst, and I have 9 years of experience. And that's all about me. And yeah, today we are going to talk about the full stack development stuff, and I'm just sharing my screen so that it will be a bit of interactive stuff. I think I don't have anything in chat. Okay, so I wanted to be more interactive. So, participants, I just wanted to know, like, whenever you are facing any doubts or anything in between this session, you can just raise your hand so that I can know, like, someone is having anything to talk to me. Okay, you can unmute yourself and ask something. Okay, please don't hesitate to ask because we are not in a live environment, right? So we are just into a Teams environment. So this is virtual and so whenever you are facing anything or if you want to speak to me just in between, just say a hi or just raise the hand so that I can come to know and I will ask the organizer to unmute you and we will talk. Okay. So I just wanted to make this session more interactive, and I don't want it to be more monotonous session so that I can only speak and you can only listen. It's not like that. So what I'm expecting from everyone is like if you are asking something, then I will also learn something, and if I am asking you something, then you will also learn something. Okay, got it, right? So I'm just sharing my screen. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. Actually, my screen got disconnected when I was trying to share my screen. Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. You can, sir.
Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Actually, I think I have some Teams issue. It seems that's why it keeps on disconnecting. Okay, not an issue. I'm just sharing my screen so that we will start the session. Okay. So, is everyone able to see my screen? Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Taking this and yes. Okay, fine. So the thing is, like today we are going to cover these things as an agenda. So the thing is, I just start with my introduction, and then we will go about how the web technologies got evolved over the period of years, and then like we will talk about some front end frameworks, and we will talk about some back end technologies, and how the tech stacks are formed, and then as a student perspective how to study for a full stack development, and I will show you how mobile JavaScript framework works, and if possible I will show you a demo on mobile JavaScript frameworks also, and I will tell you about how to sell your skills, like after I learn something related to full stack development, then how I can sell my skills, and I will exit the session. Okay, so this is the agenda I am planning for today. So and then like yeah, to talk me about like my introduction, like I am Arul Benjamin Chandru E, as I told. So if you go to Google and type my name, you can find my name in LinkedIn. You can connect me at any time. Okay, students. So I have a lot of connections with me. So here, if you see, like I started my career with IBM, and then again I switched to Cognizant. Then I worked in HCL, and currently I'm working in IBM again. Okay. So let's talk about the evaluation of web technologies. Okay, I don't want to self-boast myself for a longer duration. So what I'm trying to see is like I will show you something called Wayback Machine. Okay, so did any of us ever went to this Wayback Machine, or did any of us know about what is Wayback Machine? Hello? I just wanted to make this session more interactive. If you want, you can just unmute yourself and talk, not an issue for me.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, I was just asking, did anyone come across this Wayback Machine earlier? Okay, I will tell about this. Okay, so what is this?
Okay.
Yeah, what is this Wayback Machine is like it will store the cache of that particular website on a particular period of time. Okay, suppose in case I will go to Flipkart. Okay, so how Flipkart looks like on 2008. Okay, we don't know. 2009 we don't know. So those kind of information we can get it from the Wayback Machine. This is just a cached website so that it will catch everything at on a particular time period. So it's like a kind of a time machine for a website. Okay, so I was just trying to see how the Flipkart website looks like at the time of 2009 or 2007. Okay, currently everyone knows, everyone go to Flipkart website and you can see. So why I am going also I will explain you. Okay. So just give me a second. Okay. So suppose you are a user. Okay. Imagine yourself as an user. Okay. So if you see the Flipkart website on 2022 12th August like this, did you purchase anything from Flipkart?
Yes, sir.
How you will purchase? Like I
Yes.
just wanted to understand. See if the Flipkart is looking like this, how come Flipkart is becoming a bigger company? See, the key is the technologies. Okay, so the web technologies, it have evolved so far, and currently if you go to flipkart.com, okay, so if you see flipkart.com, it is listing all the products in a interactive manner. So this UI looks beautiful, right? So by seeing this, you can come to know, okay, I am going to buy this. This alone will let you buy something, right? So that interactiveness, how it have evolved was like there are a lot of evolvement in the web technologies. Okay, so first initially we have started with just HTML, okay, and then a CSS and JavaScript just for client handling. Okay, so in the backend we have the traditional Java servers or Python. Okay, so whatever it might be. So previously we were communicating from this front end. So this is the front end. These are the front end technologies. Talking about 2009 or 2010 like that. Okay. How that Flipkart website was built, like the one which we saw it in Wayback Machine, right? So how these Flipkart websites got built was like by that time we have very limited scope of front end development. Okay, by that time we don't have any cards or we don't have any interactiveness, and we just have the HTML and CSS kind of stuff only. So if you see the source also, it will be looking very small only. See the thing is like they have very limited code only. Okay, they have very limited code in the sense like the future richness is not there. There is no futures in this site. Okay, they were just a book selling site by that time, so they were just listing their books and they are just giving a link. If you click on that link, it will just show the details, and if you click on add to cart or place an order, it will just add this book. That's it. Apart from that, there is no much interactiveness in the Flipkart website. So if this website looks as it is on today's technology, then no one will go to flipkart.com and buy a book like this, right? So
Yes, sir.
from the business perspective, okay, so the companies needs to evolve. So by that time, how they can evolve is the recent trends in web technologies give them a scope to evolve. Okay, so there are multiple technologies. So first, yeah, so this is how the evaluation happened actually. So from being a Flipkart like a dummy website like this, like if you see if you put a customer service like this, no one will go to your website, right? Or if you put something like this, then by seeing this website itself, someone says that, hey, what is this, man? How you can design a website like this, likewise? So then if you are currently whatever because you need to be more competitive on this web designing field, right? So currently they need to adapt the latest technologies, so that only they can come up with a website like this. See, this is a banner ad, and then these are the categories they are offering. Okay, you can buy these kind of categories in Flipkart, and they can show like they can advertise everything. See, these are the advertisements which are sponsored by the brands, and how much is the best qualities, and how it is showing that recommended items inspired by your interest. So there are a lot of work going behind in each and every company on the website development or a web application development, I can say. Okay, so from a website to a web application, this is a website. Okay, so this we can just call it as a dynamic website. That's it. Apart from that, there is nothing called an application behind this. Okay, so currently this is a web application. Okay, so how you will categorize a site and an application? So how you can differentiate is a site is maximum. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how we will differentiate a site and a website? Anyone? Site, sorry, website and an application. Okay, not an issue. So the thing is like a site is nothing but it will just provide an information. Okay, so it will just provide as it is, whatever is present in the back end, it will take it and it will come into the front end and it will just show it in a decent manner. That's it. Apart from that, there is nothing to do with the site. But if you see it as an application, okay, so here see, it is showing that inspired by your order. Okay, inspired by your browsing history, inspired by your interest. So these kind of processing and everything is happening, right? So this is where we are calling it as a web application. Okay, so website is nothing but a static view of what we are having in the backend, and web application is nothing but it's having the interactiveness and whatever whatever backend it make it rich, it makes the user to feel like, okay, you should buy something like that. So that kind of interest it is building, right? So you are feeling like you are just interacting with the application, right? So that kind of sense that web applications are making right now. Okay, so this is how the web technologies got evolved over the period of years. Okay, so before we start about this front end frameworks, so first of all we need to understand why these people are calling it as front end, back end, middleware. So what the hell are all these things? So these things and all you just wanted to know. Okay, as a student perspective, before we start everything, okay, you just be strong in fundamentals. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, okay, so who is a full stack developer? So anyone can answer this. Who is a full stack developer? Hello.
So it consists of both front end and back end.
Sorry. Who is this? Yeah. Please tell me. Hello. Guys, please speak up actually,
Yes, it
because I don't
consists of
want to be
front end
more
and back end both.
monotonous. I just want to make it as an interactive session so that you can also speak and I can also speak. It will, because that's the kind of a learning for me as well as you also. That's why I was asking you. Okay, because don't hesitate to speak, because you guys are well educated.
The
And
front end means,
sorry,
hello.
your voice is
The full
breaking.
stack
Yeah.
is-
Hello.
yes, sir. Full stack means it consists of both front end and back end.
Okay. Yeah. You are right. You are right. So what is a front end and what is a back end?
So front end in the sense what is visible to the users,
Yes, right.
and back end means like what we are designing, how it's working, how its application.
Yeah. Great, Vivek. Yeah, right. So the thing is, as Vivek said, full stack development is nothing but it's a combination of front end, back end, middleware, cloud. So basically, he's like a kind of an all-in-all Raja kind of guy. Okay, so he just want to know everything. Okay, so you don't need to know everything in detail. What I am saying is there is, because we are not in an era to refer a book and code, right? We have Google with us, we have Stack Overflow with us, we have a lot of forums with us, so that we can understand where we are getting stuck and how we can resume a code. Okay, so the thing is, like, full stack developer should be the person who should know everything, okay, about the development. So how we can classify a full stack developer? A full stack developer should know front end technologies. He don't need to be an expert in this. Okay, he just need to know. From my perspective, what I'm saying is, if you spend more time on digging deeper, okay, anyway, after some time these technologies evolve over the period of time. I was just showing you the difference between this Flipkart website from 2009 and 2022. So it is just a 13 years difference. So within this 13 years difference, there are a lot of changes in the web technology, right? So if you spend too much time on learning something in HTML or CSS or a kind of CSS or a framework, okay, so what happens was immediately the next release will come and everything will go off. But anyway, the fundamentals will be same. So what you need to know is, you need to know the consistent, solid fundamentals. That's it. Okay. So as a full stack developer, what are all things you need to know is you need to know front end technologies, means you just need to know the syntax and where to place the syntax and how to code it, right? Okay, so the next thing is back end technologies as usual, front end, back end, and then middleware. What is this middleware? Anyone have any idea what is this middleware? Talk about this, and then if you want, if your company insists, you should be having some proficiency in DevOps. You should know some cloud technologies. Okay, so if you know all these things, then only you can claim yourself as a front. You can claim yourself as a full stack developer. Okay. So what are these front end technologies? Let's start with HTML. Okay, so I hope this is part of your curriculum, right? This should be your part of your curriculum, because like basically you should understand how a structure of a website looks like. Okay, it is nothing but right click and inspect. If you see this console, so whatever tags you have seen in this element things, these things and all are HTML only, right? It starts with HTML, hypertext markup language, and then it ends with HTML, right? So inside this, whatever you are writing, so those things and all related to HTML. I don't want to dig deeper into the coding area because it will take so much of time to understand what it is and everything. Okay. So there are two areas. One is head and another one is body. Everyone, as everyone knows. So inside body, whatever you are seeing in this website, you will be writing this, and in head you will add this script tags and whatever meta information you want, whatever search engine related information you want, means search engine optimization related information you want, you will be adding in this head area. And in body, like as usual, like whatever divisions of this particular website, you can put it in this body. Okay, whenever I'm scrolling it, it is just highlighting everything, right? So I can see this. Okay, this is this particular division div, and yeah, like this. So everything you code it as a container or a division kind of stuff, and then finally you will make it looks like a presentable format, right? So in HTML, the limitation is you can only place the components, right? Place the components in the sense you cannot style it more. Okay, styling in the sense you are just preparing something, but it may not be in a presentable format. Okay, am I confusing here? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, am I
Yes, sir.
confusing here or okay? See, HTML is nothing but placement of components. Okay, placement of components means I have a division, I have a table, I have a header section, I have a footer section, everything, right? So in here also you can write styles, but actually to reduce the burden of styling a web page, okay, they have segregated and found the CSS area. So CSS is nothing but the cascading style sheets, right? So cascading style sheets, what it does, okay? So let's take an example of this particular website itself, okay? So if I see like this, if I see my components arranged in this manner, it may look neat, but I just want it to be a better stuff. Okay, I just want it to be a better stuff means like I just want it to be in an organized manner like this. But I'm not saying that these things and all are happening just because of CSS only, but CSS will give you the power to style everything. Okay, take for an example, I need to have this component within this particular height, and I need to show this text in this particular format across all this stuff which is present in this particular division, right? So there should be some standards for that. So for that only these people have come across this CSS. Okay, so CSS itself is a big area to learn, but inside CSS there are a lot of limitations and a lot of hardships to learn the stuff, because you cannot simply say that this particular thing should be this much pixel and I need to do a cell padding of this much length. Likewise, you cannot simply tell for everything, right? So you can think about, okay, I just looked at a website, it looks something better, so I just want to clone the same kind of functionality into my website also, right? So for that, actually they have come up with something called bootstrap. Okay, nowadays there is another CSS which is very popular, that is called Tailwind. Okay, so you guys can Google about this. Okay, this bootstrap was created by Twitter. Okay, bootstrap is nothing but it's a CSS framework. Okay, so this one will help us to build responsive websites. Okay, so if you include this CSS into your code, okay, this CSS into your code, and if you style your applications, like, see, take for an example, okay, let me show you that. So you can utilize the existing framework applications like this. See, take for an example, this is a kind of a CSS, right? So in this CSS you can just mention like color, background color, so these kind of things and all you can utilize it through bootstrap. We can go through this bootstrap thing to understand more about CSS things, whichever we are using it right now in recent day applications. Okay, not only bootstrap, we use Tailwind CSS also. Okay, because why we are using Tailwind is like we have okay, I will come to that part later. Okay, we will talk about this entire front end stuff, and then I will come to this part later. I will surely tell you about this, because we are now developing web applications for mobile stuff also. Okay, so that one is a bit tricky to understand. Okay, I don't want to overload you with lot of information, because full stack itself is a lot of information, right? So then comes our hero, that is JavaScript. Okay, so I think JavaScript will be a part of your curriculum, right? Hello, again everyone is in on mute, or I am talking alone?
Sir, I am listening now.
Okay, okay. I'm not boring you, right? Because I am feeling like I am feeling
No, sir.
I'm speaking more
No,
monotonous.
not
Okay, guys. So the thing is like we have this JavaScript, which is like a kind of KGF Rakibai in current full stack application development. Okay. So the thing is, why they come up with JavaScript? Okay, so the JavaScript, the very first initial uh, thing is like, I'm not talking about the current JavaScript stuff. Anyway, we will come to that also. But suppose in case, take for an example, if someone is typing something here, okay, and then if they are clicking and search, okay, the user should feel like, okay, I am interacting to a website, or I am interacting to the computer likewise, right? So for that interactiveness, everything previously we were overloading it in the backend only. Backend in the sense, suppose in case you guys know about this HTTP request, right? Put, post, get, all these methods, right? So previously what happens was like previously, just forget about this bootstrap and JS and all. Okay, previously they were developing the websites. I'm talking about the way back on 98, 99, and then 2000s, the early birth of Google, right? So by that time, what happened was, whenever people are typing something in HTML and CSS, whenever people are coding something in HTML and CSS, what they do is they will get the user input, okay, and use this and pass this user input using these HTTP methods to the backend. Backend in the sense that's kind of a Java application or something like that. So what happened was every time the server needs to wait for a longer duration, right? So that reduces the user interactiveness in the website. Sorry, someone is waiting in the lobby. Okay, what's that? I don't know. Okay, so need to admit them or I don't know. Someone is waiting in the lobby. Showing like that. Okay. Anyway, organizers, you can take care. So the thing is like we need to reduce the response time, right? So for that, actually, these people have come up with an idea called JavaScript. Okay. So it's not Java. Okay. It's an extract of Java, I can say. Means that so Java is having a lot of features. So in that actually there is a feature called JVM also, right? You guys have studied about JVM, Java, all these things, right? So on top of that, okay, very few properties of Java they have inherited from that and they have created a separate language called JavaScript. Okay, so now why I am telling that JavaScript is the hero currently, because currently whatever if we are if we are saying ourselves as a full stack developer, okay, what the company expect from us is, even when I attended the interview, okay, they are asking everything in JavaScript only. Okay, so JavaScript is the deepest fundamental, and if you know this JavaScript very well, okay, you can easily understand what is full stack. Okay, guys, you are all with me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Please,
Yes, sir.
please feel free to unmute yourself and ask whatever you are feeling, or if the session is boring, also you are free to tell. Please feel free to speak like that. Okay, so that only you will come to know what all these things and all. Okay, you can utilize that time like that. So inside that JavaScript also, okay. So the thing is, see, man's evaluation is a face by face manner, right? So the same way we all came from chimpanzees and this monkey kind of stuff only, right? So what these people did was like they just wanted to have this JavaScript itself to be more responsive. In the sense, whenever you are typing something in Google, take for an example, go to google.com, okay, I'm just typing your college name, Hindustan. Okay, how Google knows that I am going to type Hindustan, right? Did you ever wonder like that? And how
Location.
Google is saying all these things?
So they
How?
will be stored in the cookies, sir.
Okay. So the thing is like there is some. So how you will be storing these things in the cookie?
Through JavaScript, sir.
Okay, so the thing is to 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 make the JavaScript work better, okay, we need lot of frameworks, right? So for that, actually, they have come across a framework called jQuery. Okay, did any of us come across jQuery?
No, sir.
Okay, so why I am asking you all these questions was why I just wanted to make yourself feel like okay, these technologies are something I need to learn. Okay, so if you learn all these things, it will be helping you at all the time. Okay, so these are all the basic bare minimum fundamentals to know okay how the front end works. Okay, so we are here, right? We are just at the third point. Okay, so at the third point, what we are talking about the front end technologies. So in the front end technologies, these are all the bare minimum requirements to understand how a front end technology works in the web application. So after that, there comes the frameworks. Frameworks means people become more lazier when it comes to coding. Okay, and also this JavaScript, okay, they have evolved and they have provided versions using something called ECMAScript. ECMAScript. ECMAScript is nothing but this is European Computer Manufacturers Association. Okay, so these people are the ones who are setting standards for the JavaScript. Okay, so this ECMAScript and JavaScript are most probably same, but ECMA is the association which is setting some standards for the JavaScript. Okay, so how they are setting standards was like you need to adapt this one, your function should be like this, your syntax should be like this. Likewise, they are coming up with the standards because these people are the ones who are giving the standards for the browsers, because whatever you are having in the front end, that should be rendered on the browser, right? So those browser standards, these people are the ones who are setting, as well as they are the ones who are setting the standards for the JavaScript also. So what happened was, day by day, the requirement and thirst for the front end development got evolved. Okay, I cannot simply put an Adobe SVG inside this and I cannot simply play it, right? So how to make the user more interactive, that matters actually. See, if a shopping site looks like this, then only I can stay in this page for a longer duration, right? So for this, day by day, the JavaScript frameworks got evolved, and then what happened was, these people have come up with a lot of frameworks, and out of this, there are some libraries also born. Okay, libraries in the sense they alone clone the JavaScript and adapted something so that you can utilize their existing, you can leverage their existing development into your application. Okay, one such famous library is React. Okay? Same way in frameworks, if you see, I can say an Angular. Okay, so React was founded by Facebook and Angular was developed by Google. Okay, guys, up to this point, any doubt?
Sir, what is a framework?
No, sir.
Right. Okay. So, take for an example. Okay. So, how I can say is, suppose in case you have a you have something to code. Okay. So your application should be looking like yeah. We will take the same example as Flipkart. Okay. Take for an example, your application should be looking like this. Okay. And if you are scrolling, okay, this is a separate page, right? And then this is a separate page, this is a separate page, and this is a separate page. Nothing should be loading, right? Correct. So how this is possible? So this is possible because of the concept called single page application. The user should feel like this entire thing is a single page. But in JavaScript, there is no such concept to implement the single page stuff. Okay, so what these companies does was, take for an example, I will talk about Google's Angular. Okay, so Google's Angular, what they does was, they just came up with a vision of developing a single page application, okay, with their existing available JavaScript stuff. So with this existing available JavaScript stuff, they prepare something which can be universally accessible. Means that, take for an example, Google is having a requirement to develop its Gmail. Right. So Gmail is one of their application, right? So in that sense, what they need to do is, see, take for an example, if I go to any of the Gmail, if I click on any of this, okay, the top URL only changes. It is not at all loading, right? See, I go to any of this tab, it is not at all loading, right? So how they can achieve this using this existing technologies? Right. So what they did was, they have their expertise engineers who have developed piece by piece components on JavaScript. piece by piece components on JavaScript in the sense they have developed something for this primary tab alone. See this alone they have developed something, okay, and this alone they have developed something, and these things and all they have made it as a name called component. Okay, so this is a component. This search bar itself is a component because you don't need to rewrite the same JavaScript stuff again, because Google is innovating this, right? So their primary stuff is to code on the core JavaScript, whatever is acceptable in the industry, and they provide their code to us. Okay, whenever you are importing something from that, or whenever you are installing the entire Angular package, what happens was their own JavaScript and their own whatever technologies they have used, those stuff and all come into our application. You can bundle it into your application, and you can use this existing JavaScript to create the wonderful stuffs like this. You got it, or I confused?
Got
Hello?
it.
Really? Even I confused. Okay.
No,
So,
sir.
okay. I will explain it again. Okay, not an issue. So the thing is, okay, this ECMAScript I told you earlier, right? So these people, European Computer Manufacturer Association, they set some limitation for the browser to render the JavaScript. Agreed? So in that sense, what these people from Google they need to do is they need to leverage the existing JavaScript. Okay, they need to utilize the existing JavaScript. Okay, and provide a wonderful application with the Google Gmail. Okay, so how they can do is they utilized it and they created a framework called Angular. So what Angular does basically is it is just interacting. See, suppose in case if you are typing something using this Angular, see Angular itself is having two different programming stuffs. So you can program, you can leverage Angular using TypeScript or JavaScript. Okay, so Angular consists of multiple libraries. So those libraries are part of JavaScript. Means that you are utilizing the existing Angular components and you are creating wonderful applications. So for that purpose only frameworks came in. Got it, right? So if you want to understand more, just go and Google it. Okay, not an issue. Okay, even whatever I am explaining that may not be understandable, but if you are digging yourself, I am just here. I am just being here to boost your searchability skills. That's it. If you are having any doubts, you can reach me in LinkedIn at any time. That's also not an issue. But anyway, like you have multiple resources across the internet to understand these things simply. Means that what I'm trying to say is Angular is, see, I don't know Telugu, right? And if someone is speaking Telugu, okay, and how I can make my thought process to be transmitted to that particular guy, because I know English and he also knows English, right? So I can speak something in English and he can understand the same in English. So here English is the framework between me and that Telugu guy. Right? Got it? Angular knows the JavaScript very well. So Angular, on top of it, whatever we are writing, it will be rendered again and it will be processed as a JavaScript only. So whenever you are packing some Angular code, whenever you are doing something, it will be again converted into JavaScript only. Okay. The
Yes, I got
same
it.
way, Facebook also try to come up with something called React. Okay, so this React itself is a bigger library. So the same way, this is a framework and this is a library. Library in the sense like you don't need to install or something through React. You can just utilize the existing code using a link CSS itself or link style itself, something like that. But framework means like you need to completely download this using Node, and then you can code everything like that. Okay. So this is a complete framework and this is a complete library. Library means you can import and you can utilize the existing components, functions as it is. So there are some functions, that functions you can utilize. So those functions will take care of your complexities and whatever complex stuff you are utilizing in your programming languages. Okay. So we are here. Yeah. So these are all the things in front-end technologies, right? So far, anyone have any doubts?
No, sir.
I take it as a
No,
no.
sir. Till now, no.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So the same thing applies for the backend technologies also. Okay. So backend is nothing but your regular programming languages. Like here only the system will allow you to show all your potentials and skills. You can communicate it with servers. Okay. Backend only it communicates with the servers. Or if you want to take about any APIs, if you want to create any APIs, all these things backend only take care. So in backend also we have something like Java. We can use Java as a backend. We can use Python as a backend. Okay. And what else? We can use Java, Python, Node.js, right? Whatever Ruby on Rails or whatever it might be. You don't need to be an expert on everything, right? If you are skillable on any one of these programming language, that will be great. Okay. So what is this Node.js? We will talk about this and then we will move on to the next topic. Okay. So Node.js is nothing but there is a guy called Rianda. This guy thinks something differently. Okay, so there is an engine called Chrome V8. Okay, so this Chrome V8 engine itself, okay, is having lot of capabilities in the browser itself. It is residing inside Chrome only. Okay, so what Riandal does was, why we need to put JavaScript as a front end stuff only. Okay, so why don't we try out a server-side JavaScript with Node.js? That's what this guy thought, and this guy researched, and he produced with the one which is called Node.js. Currently, most of the application development using this free full stack stuff and all, those people prefer Node.js only because this is very fast, because it is just leveraging the features of Chrome V8 engine, which is already present with Chrome. Okay, so this Chrome V8 is part of Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, everywhere. So the thing is, like Node.js, they're just leveraging the existing technology and created a new JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript itself, if you see, there are a lot of JS. Okay, so people found Node.js a bit difficult. So again, what they did was they came up with an idea called the Express.js. As for in Node.js, you need to create a port and listen, and then only with that only you can just create some interactions inside the backend itself. So to overcome all these complexities, for that again they have come up with a framework called Express.js. Okay, Node is nothing but everything is pre-installed stuff, and there is a manager called npm or yarn. So it is nothing but they call it as Node package manager. This is now recent days, it is now bundled with Node.js itself. Okay, so if you install Node.js on your machine, it will have npm also. Okay, npm is nothing but it's having node packages. Okay, see, take for an example, I need to add a calendar functionality in my take for an example, in Angular, I need to add a calendar functionality. Okay, so what we can use is we can use this npm Angular calendar. So this itself is a package. It is written in TypeScript. So this is the npm repository search. Okay, so this is having lot of repositories. You can leverage the existing code into your application. That is the specialty with the node. Okay, so someone usually, like in my team, usually they told like one of a guy tells like node itself is very heavier than this world like this, because node is having lot of packages, and npm itself, if you see, lots and lots of packages will be there. So whatever you want, you can go here. Calendar will be, see, calendar alone you can see a lot of packages will be there. See, suppose in case if you are writing a node based application and you think like, okay, this is useful for the world. Okay, so you alone can create an npm package like this. See, this is just a date picker. So for a date picker, they have an npm package like this. Okay, so npm is nothing but a node package manager. You can utilize these packages using npm install like this. Okay, I will show you, don't worry. Okay, I will show you how these things and all are working and how a node package looks like. Okay, so this is how the node.js evaluation came in. Okay, we are running a lot of time. Okay, so so far, any doubts? Hello. Okay, so I'm going to middleware. Okay, so middleware is nothing but whatever front end is tracking. Okay, front end and back end, they should have a intermediate stuff, right? So take for an example, front end is sending some thousands of requests. Okay, and back end don't even know how to in which order this request came, right? So for organizing these, okay, we have some middleware technologies, but currently we are not muchly using, because backend itself is capable of taking care of this middleware stuff also embedded. Okay, but in middleware previously, what and all things we used was, anyone heard about Apache Tomcat?
Yes,
A
sir.
very old software. This is part of LAMP stack. We'll talk about stacks later. Okay. So previously, okay, so what Apache Tomcat does, it serves as a middleware, and what it does was, it takes the request from the front end and it passes it to backend. That's it. Okay, it is not doing anything, but it just serves as a pipeline, because this one only brings up your server, right? So like Tomcat, there are a lot of middlewares. I'm not wasting much time on that. Okay, and then we will talk about this DevOps and cloud. Okay, DevOps is nothing but these are a series of technologies. So we call it as CI/CD pipelines. So means that the IT companies, they just wanted to reduce the cost of developing an application and deploying an application, because we have a lot of server maintenance and a lot of stuffs are there, right? So these development folks itself, whoever is developing the application, right, so they alone can contribute in operation side. So that is what we call it as DevOps. Okay, so here we have this Git is there, right? How many of us are having a GitHub account? Hello team, am I boring the session?
Sir?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, how many of us are having
No,
a Git?
sir.
Sir, I have, sir.
Okay, okay. I see Kadir's hand. Okay, guys, go ahead and create a GitHub account. Okay, why I am saying is, being you guys are okay, Vivek, yeah. Hi. So the thing is like uh, why I am saying you to create a GitHub account was you guys are now studying, right? So how the companies will come to know you are doing the real projects or you are doing something, you are learning something, right? There should be some kind of trackability which can be showcased to the company, right? I know a lot of people who just got jobs with the help of GitHub only, GitHub accounts only, because they consistently put efforts and put their code into the Git so that, see, take for an example, you can create a public profile with a Git and then you can showcase your profile so that someone can see, okay, this guy is having this kind of reputation. Likewise you can represent yourself to the companies. So that's why I'm insisting you guys to go ahead and create a GitHub account. Okay, Git alone is the biggest stuff. Okay, so Git is part of, like, Git is nothing but it is not only GitHub. Okay, we have GitLab here, and we have just regular Git here. Okay, so Git itself is a version control management system. Okay, source code management system we call it as. So what it does was, see, take for an example, I am working on a project. Suppose in case I am working for Swiggy. Okay, so in Swiggy, if you open your application, you can see a lot of differences on day by day, right? Yesterday it looks like this and tomorrow it may look like a different kind of application. Last week it may look, because last week there might not be no Instamart, and this week they could have added a new feature called Instamart, right? So that kind of things and all, how they will track, right? So every component we have a set of developers. So that trackability should be there when you are coding, right? So for that trackability and version control and source code management, all these things will be taken care by the Git. Okay, same way we have something called Jenkins, we have Maven. Maven is a build tool, Jenkins is a pipeline tool. Okay, you can just Google it, what and all these things and all. Because see, if you are interested in full stack development, okay, I'm not scaring you with all these terms and all these technologies. It may look fancy, okay, but if you go into these technologies, it is simply nothing. Okay, you just need to have an attitude of learning. That's it. If you are having a good learning attitude, you can learn everything online. Okay, I just transformed my career from a mainframe developer to a full stack developer using the free available resources only. Okay, at the end of the session, I will show you how I studied and what and all how you can also leverage the same kind of platforms. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the last thing we are seeing is cloud, right? So in cloud, if we see, we have, yeah, usually in colleges, we have this
Chandru,
cloud meeting seminars, right? Hello?
Chandru, this is Sadish.
Yes. Yeah, hi, sir.
Can we have a break for 10 minutes?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you finish this. So, after this, so you can go for a 10 minutes break.
Satish, we can have it now itself, Satish, because even I also need to drink some water and all because I was continuously talking.
Yeah. So, now the time is 11:20. So, we'll start the session by 11:30.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start the session by 11:30.
Yeah, sure, Satish. Yeah.
Participants, now we have a break for 15 minutes. So, time is 11:20. We'll start the session by 11:30.
Okay, sir.
Participants, don't leave the session. The session will start by 11:30. So kindly be in the session. Don't leave the session. Most of them are leaving.
Okay, sir.
Yes, guys, hold on, everybody. Let's have a break of 10 minutes.
Hey, Rakesh, டேய் மைக் ஆன்ல இருக்குடா.